Hello, and today we'll start chapter 2 for Remember the Flowers. My eyes have trouble adjusting for a moment, but I remember where I am. Oops, sorry about that. Cooper says he tries to hoist me further up his back. I think he almost dropped me. Despite the cool night air, I find myself sweating a fair amount. That's the desert for you. I think about 15 minutes ago my legs finally gave out, and Cooper had to resort to giving me a piggyback ride. He's not the best at it. I had to coerce him to take off his bigger rifle too. Damien's definitely got him beat in that regard. Still, it's better than walking. Once we left the city, most of the paths were gravel and dirt. Cooper said he might have some spare suits at home I could wear. When I asked where he got them, he told me not to worry about it. He might be right. The less questions I ask, the better. Not like he'll answer them anyway. I'm so tired at this point. It must be near 4 a.m. Every time I try to rest my head against him, the stench blasts my nose. Although I'd rather not mouth breathe so close to his neck. I don't want any of that gross fur in my mouth. Hey, how much longer? Another quarter mile, I'd say. Do you not have a car? If I could barely afford that outfit, what makes you think I could afford a car? Fair point. I really shouldn't be complaining. He's killing me, after all. Still, even if I can't remember most of what's happened, I think I should be able to complain just a little bit. No more headaches or nausea, though, which is a plus. Do you really live out there? No, of course not. That city is only habitable zone for miles. So where are we going? Again with the questions. Again with the dodging of said questions. I gave an annoying and exaggerated lawn. I know you said things are classified, but if we're going there, isn't that enough of a window to fill me in? You'd be surprised how many clients will cancel a contract upon leaking information. Is that not leaking information? I'm starting to slip back down again, and Cooper tries to hoist me up. Please stop talking. I'm tired and not in the mood to banter. Okay, sorry. He grunts at that, and I frown. Remember, I'm not doing this because I want to. I much rather be shooting to sit with my friends at the bar than carrying your scrawny ass across the country. Sorry. I'll be more mindful. My heart does sting a bit at that, but he's right. I do need to keep in mind that we're not friends or ever will be friends. Just coincidental acquaintances. I must really be lonely if I'm not attached to this jerk. Cooper sighs, though. It even surprises me. No, that was a bit uncalled for. Believe it or not, you're one of the least insufferable escorts I've had to deal with. Even with the clothes? You kidding? You should see the bills I've had to pay just to make some of these clients happy. Cooper groans before ranting some more. Some of these mafia daughters think they are actual royalty. Can't help but chuckle. That's certainly a problem to have. Can't ask what they make you give them? Maybe in the morning. It's the morning. That's why I impress my luck. Fair point. I like to think he smirked at that. He carried on in silence for a bit longer, and I think I started to see cracks of pink invade the horizon. The sun must be rising. Is it okay if I sleep when we get there? Might mess up my sleep schedule, but I'm exhausted. Lucky for you, I'm not one of the itineraries. As long as we get you to the wisdom on time, I don't care what we do. That sounds a bit contradictory, although I'm too tired to challenge him on that. Because I'm definitely about to give out. Just a few more minutes. Okay. Both huff, and I try to get comfy against him one last time. His muscle is getting less apparent the longer he kills me. Guess that's something. There, just up the hill. I eventually do start to nod off again, but Cooper wakes me up once more. I was so sleepy at this point, I could barely crack my eyes open. The sun's definitely coming up, which illuminates the hills in front of us. It would be pretty if it wasn't so damn late at night. What is it? A Castle Motel. I think I've heard of a Castle hotels before, not a motel though. I thought you said we were going home. We'll see soon enough. Besides, we have to get there somehow. Okay? I yawned, but I've made it this long, so I try to stay up. I'll crash on his floor if I have to. I just want to lay down. After I trek up the hill, Cooper nudges me again and helps me get down. I almost immediately fall over. Cooper has to hold my hand to keep me steady. Come on, almost there. Okay. I yawn loudly again. Cooper does as well, surprisingly. He literally props me up against the wall of the first building we see. It reminds me of a cottage, both in size and in appearance. It's completely contrasting the futuristic city we came from. Right here, I'm going to register us for the night, okay? It's kind of refreshing to see him open a natural door. I feel a form of nostalgia I can't begin to describe. Looking around there isn't much. Besides this cottage I'm propped up against, there are some weird part things. Now, those contrast with the desert cottage. The big one trying to figure out what they are, but decide I'm too tired for that. Besides, Cooper will explain it to me when he gets back, maybe. He's feeling generous. The desert wind is all that's keeping me awake. It must be summer around here, since the night air is somewhat tolerable. I think I remember reading that in the summertime it gets to about the high 60s. It's a bit chilly, but I was already cold before. Cooper is pretty warm. I have to say being carried by him wasn't the worst thing in the world. Still, he could definitely use some pointers from Damien. Jeez, I really miss him. The stars began disappearing one by one as the sun starts to rise. It would be pretty if I didn't feel like I was about to collapse. Yet again, Cooper's taking a long time, but I guess this time it makes sense. He must be talking with someone to rent us rooms. Wait, does that mean I have to sleep in the same room as him? Maybe I can sleep in the bathroom. Better yet, get him to take a shower. The sudden door opening jerks me awake again. Cooper's back. As usual, he looks grumpy. I only got us about 48 hours. This place is such a scam. It does seem to be the only motel around for miles. Guess that gives him a reason to check out the prices. Cooper has a look of surprise on his face, with a tinge of what I think is worry. How do you know what a motel is? That question is so stupid I actually close my eyes in annoyance. I inhale out of irritation and sheer tiredness. Yes, a lot of questions. Fuck off. Cooper also rolls his tired eyes and shoos me along. I follow him as best as I can, shielding my eyes from the rising sun. Number 12. Well, I walk right into Cooper, banging my nose against his shoulder. Geez, warn me next time. Pay attention this time. We're here. We're in front of one of those weird pod things. I pause for a moment. Well, what? This is the part where you're supposed to explain to me whatever the hell this is. Cooper gives an exasperated sigh. Do you really have to, right now? It'd be fucking appreciated. I raise my voice a bit out of irritation, and Cooper cringes while lowering his ears. Okay, fuck's sake. It's just a standard transfer pod. I don't know what that is. Remember, amnesia? I put some bridge on my nose. Cooper growls quietly, and I have a mind to stick my tongue out at him. He can deal with my moodiness right now. I'm tired. Just watch. You're not gonna die. Cooper takes out his accent and slides to a different screen. It's shaped more like a sphere than a flat screen. He spins it around before pressing it into it like a button. Okay, now I'm awake. It looks a bit stackety for a second, then he rotates his arm around. Then he rotates his arm forward. He's holding his free paw underneath the sphere, and something slides out from it. It looks like a key. Whoa. Cooper slides the axiom off and resents the thing he just dropped out of it. Judging by the stupid expression on your face, you're quite surprised. Most axioms can digitally store physical objects. This is the key to my place. I keep it and other important things in it so long as they fit. That's handy. And can be. I know some pricier models that can store a hell of a lot more. This and a few more personal belongings is about all I can store. I see. Well, okay, that was pretty cool. Just don't grab it while it's in the axiom. It hurts like hell. Noted, as if I'll ever get one. Cooper sticks his key into another device. Looks like a wire with a port in it, and walks up to the pod. If I could describe it, the pod looks like a big plastic egg with wedges along the sides. Maybe a couple feet taller than Cooper and I. Then Cooper sticks the rod into a hole on the side of the pod. There's a brief flash, then the outline of a door frame starts to materialize. Before I know it, there's a normal enough looking door transposed onto the pod's surface. Ready? Sure. Whatever, I just want to go to bed. Cooper takes my hand gently and starts to open the door. Close your eyes as we enter and walk. It'll feel like a long hallway. I do as he says and walk with him. Okay, we walk for half a minute. I didn't get the best look at all, but there's no way the inside of this pod is that big. Can I open my eyes yet? Sure. And open my eyes for hopefully the last time tonight. We're in an apartment. I'm assuming Cooper's. I take it that weird pod thing can transfer people to wherever you want. Ah, see, I knew you had a brain. Just took a day for you to turn it on. Anyway, she said you only have 48 hours. Why? If we go over that, we won't be able to exit the front door back to where we started. Meaning we'd open the door and end up where I live, and that's way too far for us to travel to Resume. Let's see, can I go to bed now? I don't care. Look around. It's definitely small, but it's clear that he tries to make the most of it. Can I use the bathroom? Cool is worried. About that. What? I asked impatiently. There's no running water here. Why? I'm not here often enough to justify it. I usually stay in cheaper pods instead of transferring home. Cooper, when's the last time you showered or even took a bath? That's none of your concern. Jesus fucking Christ, whatever. How do you want me to pee? Just go in the bowl. It'll be fine for a day or two. Glad to hear it. It's down the hall. Got it. Oh my God. There's something wrong with that man. Whatever. Let's just urinate and go the fuck to sleep. I spent a few minutes just trying to get sorted. Not being able to wash my hands was bad enough, but I guess I can't even brush my teeth. I chuckled. Yeah, like that's something I should be worrying about right now. Ugh. I walked back into the living room. Cooper was nowhere to be found. I shook my head, trying to get rid of the headache I get from being up this long. He must have gone to his own room. That's fine. He gives me the tour anytime. He gives me the tour any other time. And don't even bother trying to turn the lights off. I'm that tired. The long couch in the room seems like the best bet for the night. As I walk up to it, I notice something. A folded blanket. Curious, I pick it up. It smells clean with a hint of what I think is vanilla. Guess that wolf can be considerate when the mood strikes him. I flop on the couch and take one of the only cushions as a pillow. One thing's for sure, this is better than sleeping in that alley. To my surprise, the lights start to dim. There must be some kind of sensor in the ceiling. I put the covers over me, move my hair out of my face, and start to finally fall asleep. Something sizzling. Groggily, I sit up, trying to ascertain where it's coming from. I can hear it across the room. Sun's pouring in from the lone window. I guess it's morning. Well, morning. I go into a stretch, my limbs popping far less than before, but still enough to catch Cooper's attention. Oh, morning. I yawn as I rub my eyes open, and it figures now that yesterday was a dream. Kind of surprised I didn't have any actual dreams last night, though. I wish I had a notebook to pencil down all of my observations, but Cooper probably wouldn't know what that is. Guess I'll have to cope with a mental notebook. I get up and stretch again before shuffling over to Cooper. He's manning in the kitchenette corner. I didn't really notice it last night. Quite frankly, I don't care. What time is it? About 9:30 in the morning. We got in around 4:30, I think. Not the best night. I don't have most of my memory. I can say for certain that was one of the worst nights of my life. Cooper was frying something on something. He's using a frying pan for sure, but the stove looks weird. At least, I think it's a stove. It has 4 solid red squares elevated from the rest of the stove. It's warm, though, even from here. Wait, so you have electricity, but not running water? I have my priorities. Apparently. Hey, if I didn't have to buy every amnesiac I found a new outfit, I would be able to afford it. I groaned. It's a good thing you don't have to. I'm joking. If you say so. He rolls his eyes and I do too. This is already getting old. Although the smell of what he's cooking catches my attention. It kind of looks like Spam. What are you cooking? Spam. That explains it. Wait, y'all got Spam here? Sure. He shrugs. Okay, maybe this isn't a dream. Maybe this is some sort of simulation. My eyes start to dart around to look at what's familiar and what isn't. Everything looks like something we would have on Earth. I place my hand on my back on those ports. You just woke up and you're already having a panic attack. Huh? Cooper huffs as he flips a piece of Spam. I don't know how many canines you've been around, but your anxiety is easy to read, even a mile away. Relax. Well, Cooper places the spatula down and slowly holds my face to her eye level. You're going to be fine. No one is out to get you. We're not going to get hurt. Just relax and go with everything. This isn't what I was stressing about. But I play along. He already thinks I'm crazy enough. Thanks, Cooper. I pause. But aren't there people actually out to get me? Oh, right. I'll handle them. Cooper picks the spatula back up and continues salting the Spam slices. Thanks, I guess. At least he's trying. Anyway, breakfast will be ready soon. Then you'll need to stay here for the day. Why? I need to go out and get some supplies and sell some stuff. We're really that far away? Yeah, I'd like to avoid another day session in the pod, so it would be best to get as much as we can on foot. Alright? Look around. What should I do? Nothing. You don't have to do anything. Well, can I do something? Like what? I don't know. I don't really do well with just sitting around and doing nothing. That's the first. Most people I bring along love to do nothing. Guess I'm not most people. Clearly. Plus, I do want to help pay you back for the clothes. Oh, for fuck's sake, I hope you're not going to be self-conscious about them. I bought them on your own volition. I know, but I still appreciate it. Who was the back of his head with his free paw? I mean, I guess you can clean up if you want. He pauses. Just try not to touch anything. He gestures vaguely. Weird. He can see my confusion. Okay. I'll put away anything that could hurt you. I'm not a toddler. Right, sorry. Forgot, old man. That's not much better. Deal with it. Especially for placing spam on some plates. I don't know why, but it feels unnatural seeing spam here of all places. Regardless, I join him at his couch, and we start to eat our second meal together. Once we're finished with breakfast, Cooper tells me to wait on the couch for a bit. Eventually, he comes out with crates similar to the ones back at the alley and puts them in the living room. There are 4 in total. They're not huge, but they're not small either. Okay, there's nothing but junk in these. You can keep whatever you want or throw away whatever you want. I don't really care. This, I guess? If there's nothing but junk, then what use am I gonna have for these? Are you just gonna train me to be your dumpster diving assistant? What? No. He pauses. Anyways, it's about time I head out. You'll be gone most of the day, right? Yeah, probably until supper. I snort. Supper. What? Nothing. You just use funny vernacular. Whatever. Cooper rolls his eyes before he grabs his jacket and his rifle. Before I leave, let me give you a proper tour of the place. I'll show you what to avoid too, says Ash. I'm glad you asked. My room is off limits, period. Why by me? I'm almost scared to imagine the kind of mess this room is. As you can see, there's not much here in the living room. You can vacuum if you want. Cobra could probably use it. The kitchen's corner here. Let's see. Cooper flings open the fridge. It's filled with packages and produce I really don't recognize, besides one big compartment of something that looks familiar. Are those mushrooms? Yeah, they are. You can have some if you want. Not really the biggest fan. So why do you have so much? This kind keeps for a long time. Useful in a pinch. I got these about 6 months ago, I think. Oh, that's handy. Just wish they tasted better, Cooper says with a grimace. Anyway, there's canisters of water in here if you get thirsty, okay? Cold water usually sounds nice right about now. There's some other stuff you could eat. I'd say anything on the first 2 cells would be fine, even without being cooked. Anything below there would probably upset your stomach. Noted. I'm not the pickiest eater, but I do want to make sure my stomach is at 100% before trying anything foreign. What else? There's the bathroom. Cooper gestures down the only hall, leading to the bathroom. I went in there last night, but I didn't get the best look. It wasn't very big, though, so I don't know why he's putting it out on the tour. Toilet, sink, shower. Always have no water. But now I'll see about turning it on for tomorrow. I snapped my attention to him. What? If you can get me a hot shower tonight, I'll be yours forever. Huh. Who would want you forever? He smiled before pulling open the shower curtain. There were boxes filling the tub. What's that? My ammo. Why do you keep gun ammo in your shower? Where else am I going to pull it out? Oh my God. Cooper can see my dumbfounded expressions, Norris. I'm kidding. It's just more storage. I'm not here very often. If you can clear it out before I bat, the shower's all yours. I started beaming. Now that's incentive. Deal. Try not to look so desperate. It's not an attractive quality. I'm sure you're quite familiar with unattractive qualities. Cooper tries to roll his eyes, but I can see that smirk curling up. That's it for the tour. Do you have any questions or specific needs? I can immediately think of a dozen off the top of my head, but most are superficial ones rather than these. I can think of a few if that's alright. Shoot. Could I get a toothbrush and toothpaste? I saw some in Cooper's bathroom, but I'd like to get my own if possible. Probably. I think I could do that. Anything else? Well, time limit, remember. Okay. I just wanted to know if you could get me a journal to write in. I can't afford to get you an exam. No, I mean a physical journal with a pen and paper. You seriously don't write on paper ever? Cooper raises an eyebrow. I should have expected that. Not really. It's kind of wasteful, isn't it? I don't know what to say to that. What do you do when your exam loses battery? It doesn't, huh? I've had it for a couple of years and have never needed to charge it. It's somewhat solar powered. How is that possible? Don't ask me. I didn't make it. Anyways, alright. Could you try and find me a journal and pen? They have to sell them somewhere. I'll see what I can do. Why do you want them? Just to record my thoughts? Right. That's a completely normal thing to do. Anything else? Oh no, not really. Honestly, if I can just get a shower tonight, I'll be content. But I won't tell him now that. I won't tell him now that. Alright then, I'll say get going. You sure you don't need me to do something specific? Not really, no offense, but I don't think there's much you can do in your state. Just take a moment to rest. Alright, I'll certainly try. If you need to try to rest, you clearly have something to work on. A grimace. I feel like I'm being lectured by Diana. Time limit, remember? Yeah. He's leaving for real this time. This will be the first time I've been on my own in all 12 hours I've been conscious. I have mixed feelings about it. Wait, there's one more thing. I'm taken aback as Cooper reaches for my hand with his paws, gently places it on my cheeks to tilt my head up. What the hell are you doing? Looking. I squirmed a bit in his grasp. Dude, stop whining. It'll only take a second. I roll my eyes as he pats my head again. He lets go and circles around behind me. Tilt your head down a bit. I help but do what he says. Easier to just go along with it than to put up any sort of argument. To my surprise, he starts to unravel the bandages around my head. Some of my hair slumps down as if the bandages were a headband. What? Is it bad? No. I say you're healing fast. That's good. Indeed, hang on. I'm just going to take a closer look. Before I can respond, I feel him parting some of the crusted hair. Thankfully, it still doesn't hurt. I wonder, should I ask him about that? If I could believe more than half of what he says, I'd try. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine. Thanks, Doc. Can you let me go of my hair now? If I could believe more than half of what he says, I'd try. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine. Thanks, Doc. Can you let go of my hair now? Cooper does and turns to face him. If I could believe more than half of what he says, I'd try. Yeah, I think you'll be just fine. Thanks, Doc. Can you let go of my hair now? Cooper does, and I turn to face him fully. Was that really necessary? Kind of. I did need to check the damage at some point. Wouldn't want my employer to think I hurt you on the way over. How nice of you. Cooper doesn't take the bait, but instead opens his axiom window. He swipes to the inventory sphere screen and tosses the bandages aside. I'm surprised it only takes a few seconds to digitize. I need to be careful getting rid of these. They could cause trouble. He swipes away at the screen. Luckily I know a guy. Of course you do. Alright, I'm leaving for real now. Godspeed. I have half a mind to push him out at this rate. You sure you'll... I'll be fine, dude. Seriously, there's food and water. How bad could I screw this up? Cooper rested his paw on his chin and thought, oh my god, just go. Cooper snorts. Right, I'm off. I'll be back tonight. Remember to turn around. Don't look at the door frame as I leave. I turn my head looking into the living room. Bye, Dad. Have a good day at work. Huh, right. He passed by still before turning to the door. There's a brief flash of light, almost like someone took a photo. There's quiet. I turn around. I'm completely alone. I give the loudest and longest sigh of my life as I spread myself around the flop right onto Cooper's couch. Finally, a moment to process everything that's happened. I give my eyes a really good rubbing, letting the colors swirl around my eyelids. What a weird day. I inhale one more time to ground myself. Alright, let's figure some shit out. I sit up and get myself together, briefly going over everything concrete. And Allie, the memories, and Cooper. Someone left me in that alley, I guess for at least a day or two. Wonder why didn't they come back for me? My memories come in at random times. Most are brief flashes. I thought sleeping would trigger longer memories, but last night I didn't remember anything. I hope they're not random. I'd like to find a concrete strategy to get them back. As for Cooper, he's kind of an asshole. He's also taking care of me. I don't really know what to make of him. I still don't trust him fully yet, because he's way too secretive. The wolf has his moments though, I'll give him that. I look around his apartment, particularly at those crates. There's a chance something in there could be useful. He said it was mostly junk, but one man's trash is another man's treasure. Yeah, I'm already becoming a dumpster diver. I don't know how he lives like this. He clearly makes some kind of money. He tells me he's an escort, kind of. From context clues, I'd say he's more of a mercenary, desperate one at that. Taking a job to bring an amnesiac man home seems bottom of the barrel. I chuckled to myself over the absurdity of the situation we both found ourselves in. Then I stopped and think about the situation itself again with more scrutiny. Cooper said that he was able to find me from my blood, which I guess makes sense. He had his gun up, so maybe he thought and the assailant was still around. It all happened a little too quickly, though. The more I think about it, the creepier the situation looks. People was adamant about not being caught by guards. What would they be guarding? If they weren't cops, if anything, it would make sense to take me to some type of authority. I get up from the couch and start to pace around the room as I get deeper into my own theorizing. Things aren't adding up right. I don't think he's lying to me, but he's obviously not telling the whole truth either. He wants to take me to Res Room, but what the hell is that? A sanctuary for humans, he says. Whatever that means. I'm getting anxious again. What else do I know? I asked him. If I could get my hands on it, I could probably search for all sorts of things. Wait, no. Cooper says he needs to register me in it. God damn it. My racing thoughts pick up, along with my pacing. Wait, they asked him. He used that right after he found me. He got information from an employer, information about me. I stopped in my tracks. Wait a second. The motherfucker. The asshole knows so much more about me than I do. Bet that son of a bitch even knows my name. I go from pacing to speed walking with rising annoyance. He has contacts who obviously know about me. How else would they identify me? Just a long white-haired man with a lot of scars. Lots of people have scars. Cooper has scars, for God's sake. No, they had to have told him my name, a lot, and lots more about me. What's worse is that if I confront him, he'll just say it's classified. Imagine that, my own name being classified. I can't even be allowed that. God, what the fuck? My stamina starts to run out as I flop back on the couch. I grab the cushion I was sleeping on the night before and just fucking scream into it. My little fit doesn't last long as I start to feel fatigued. I slump against the couch and laugh. Seriously, can't even tell me my own name? I start to feel defeated. Look around. I feel some form of contempt for the wolf. I'm in his apartment, wearing his clothes, eating his food, and at this point I don't think it's hyperbole to say that he owns me. Part of me thinks that I'm overreacting. But due to the fact that he knows more about me than I do, I think I deserve to get a bit upset. You know what? He can clean up his own shit. I'm tired and weak. I don't know why I offered to help him. Cross my arms and sit up on the couch. Then I take a look around. There's really not that much else to do around here. Tap my fingers to my knees. As tired as I am, I will immediately be very bored just sitting around here. I so desperately want to take a nap, but if I'm going to fix my sleep schedule, I should try to stay up. Ugh. I resign myself to my fate yet again and make my way over to the crates Cooper left me. Okay, well, it's not like I'm doing this to help him. I'm doing this so I don't go crazy with boredom. And not as if I'll convince myself. That side I inspect the crates. They look to be made of some kind of metal. Each one has a keypad on them, but the screens are all green. I assume that's because Cooper unlocked them for me. The ones in the alley look similar too. Must be a common means of storage around here. Either that or Cooper just yoinked these and took ownership. Wouldn't be surprised. I huff at that wolf and his living habits. In any case, these should keep me entertained for the coming hours. Not really thinking too much about the order, I just picked the first one on my left. The top parts are smoothly at the hinge. It kind of reminds me of a treasure chest. I'm a bit perplexed at the contents, certainly not booty. I try to tip over the crate, but my arms aren't strong enough for that. Letting out a loud and annoyed groan, I just scoop up a few things and lay them on the floor. They look like scraps of bigger pieces of technology. There are hunks of metal galore, but some pieces of tech I have no hope of comprehending. I'm starting to think I bit off more than I could chew. I can't really organize anything if I don't know what they are. This kind of looks like junk to me. Cooper's starting to look less like a wolf and more like a pack rat to me. You have to be careful moving these around. There are more sharp edges and exposed wires on some pieces. Guess he didn't think this through. For a moment, the thought of using one of these long swords as a weapon crosses my mind. I shake my head. As desperate as I am, I'm not that stupid. Cooper will easily overpower me. I have to wonder if I ever had experience in self-defense. A memory pops up in my head of Diana absolutely crushing me in exhibition match, she suggested. Guess not. I sort them into two piles, parts and devices. Parts is mainly junk, but who knows, Cooper might need them for something. Not that I'm doing this for him, obviously. Ugh. Halfway through, I realize something. How am I going to organize these inside the crate itself? I can feel a headache on the rise. This is so stupid. I think that, but I keep going. At this rate, I'm almost looking forward to making it to resume. Probably more exciting than this. I chuckle to myself. I feel like a kid who was dropped off at an abandoned daycare. I'm nearly done with the contents of the box. As expected, most of it just looks like junk. However, something near the bottom catches my attention. I lean over to pick it up. It feels more like a tablet I would have used, albeit clearly different. The screen itself looks like a black border with a completely transparent metal. The buttons on the side are the only part of the contraption that clue me in that it's some kind of screen. I steer to a crisscross position as I attempt to figure out how to operate it. Let's hope there's no passcode or anything. The buttons seem to work, but nothing pops up on the screen. Who knows when this was charged last? Now that I think about it, there weren't many cables or cords in this box. The device doesn't seem to have a port for one to be inserted anyway. How does it function then? I tap the screen mindlessly, trying to elicit some sort of response. What do I know about the technology here? I know Cooper's axiom, but that's about it. His axiom? It's solar powered, he said. Kind of, were his exact words. Maybe I just need to. I get up and walk to the only window in this place. I guess we're high up. It must be an actual apartment complex. I honestly thought this was some ground floor motel he found himself in. Music outside, I hold the tablet there against the window for a moment. Nothing happens and I start to get discouraged. But then it beeps and lights up. I need to drop it. The screen itself is almost too bright. The screen will just soon after, easing up on my eyes. I stare at it for a while. Sure enough, it needs a passcode, but the background is what's captivating me. There are 5 figures on the screen. Cooper being one of them. Wow, this must be old. He almost looks happy. He's being held in a headlock by a bigger white tiger. The tiger is also headlocking someone else, a human. He looks like a rowdy guy. There's a hyena on the right. He seems to be egging them on. Finally, on the very left beside Cooper, there's a deer shaking his head. I'm kind of dumbfounded. Cooper obviously had a life, and I have to wonder what happened to it. I dare say he's blushing underneath that tiger's arm. Not that I blame him. He looks strange without his scars. This must have been from a while ago. Well, I guess this wasn't a total waste. I'm sure he'd be happy to have a memento like this. Water activated. Once again, nearly dropped the tablet as I hear something over the apparent apartment intercom. Wait, water? Activated? That means I can finally take a shower. I gently set the tablet on the windowsill to let it charge and speed walk my way over to Cooper's bathroom. with a big smile plastered on my face. It took me longer than I would have liked to clear out all the ammunition Cooper stored in the bathroom. I gently set the tablet on the windowsill to let it charge, then speed walk my way over to Cooper's bathroom, with a big smile plastered on my face. It took me longer than I would have liked to clear out all the ammunition Cooper stored in the bathtub. Seriously, if he's restored to using his bathroom like this, I really have to wonder what he keeps in his room. Even though I worked up a good sweat moving everything, I don't mind. I feel like I accomplished something. Now that I have a working shower to myself, I could care less to. Expanding the rest of the bathroom, there seems to only be 2 towels. I hope there was. I'm not going to risk smelling them though. Now that I think about it, most of this looks like stuff we had back home. The idea of this reality being some kind of simulation crosses my mind again. Funnily enough, that would be the most logical explanation for everything happening right now. Though I've given up on waking up. With some hesitation, I stripped off my turtleneck, avoiding the mirror over the sink. Don't need any body dysmorphia right now. It's a sound right, but I'm not exactly sure how to operate it. The faucet for the bath looks normal, and so does the shower head. But there are no handles or dowels. It's basically just a wall or towel. I try knocking against the towels to see if anything happens. Nothing, obviously. Man, what the fuck? I finally get the chance to shower and not even sure how to use it. Where's Cooper when you need him? Not that it happens often. Actually, I've needed him for every step of the way so far, but that's besides the point. Wait, that's it. I should try to put myself in Cooper's shoes to see how he'd go about this, even though he doesn't wear shoes. I'm distracting myself again. I need to figure out how this damn thing works. Cooper seems to use his axiom for everything. Maybe there's a piece of technology in here that operates the shower. I turn toward the sink, briefly getting startled by myself in the reflection. I still look like bloody hell. Oh well, these kinds of casual encounters with my appearance still help elevate future anxieties. At least that's what I'm telling myself. I stay my head to focus once more, then look through some of the nearby cabinets. There are some things that look like toiletries, I think. Bottles and lotions, I guess those are also a universal concept. Some look like the canister Cooper kept his water in. Curious, I slide my finger at the top and smell the contents. It's kind of floral. I think it's shampoo. There's a decent amount in here, and I could definitely use a bit for my hair. Will he miss it? Actually, I have to wonder if he knew he had shampoo in the first place. Well, that was a nice find, but I still need a way to operate the shower. Ruffling through the rest of the cabinets is fruitless. Thought there'd be some deodorant somewhere, but I guess that's more of a human thing. The shampoo being my only boon, I close up the cabinets and turn around. I look toward the mirror this time with more confidence. I chose not to dwell on the reflection as I stick my hand under the mirror itself and pull. The mirror moves open like a door. That's pretty old-timey to have a medicine cabinet like that. Although I'm not exactly sure what constitutes as old-timey around these parts. I like the cabinets. This seems promising. There's yellow fur covered brush, along with some toothbrushes. Sadly, just canine toothbrushes. I think they do much. I think they do me much good. I don't even want to think about what canine toothpaste tastes like. Brushes aside, there's something that catches my attention, catches my eyes. It looks like a smartphone. I pick it up and try to fiddle with it while still being cautious. Wanted to blow up anything or something. To my surprise, it lights up almost instantly. If I'm right, it's exactly what I'm looking for. The screen has a gauge labeled water, along with a slider at the bottom, set in the middle, half blue and half red. Geez, these guys need tablets just to use their sour. I can't tell if that's boogie or just lazy. If that's boozy or just lazy. I pause. Probably both. Looking over the screen, it seems rudimentary enough. There's a big button that I'm guessing is a start button. As one does with big buttons, I press it. After a slight pause, the bathtub faucet starts pouring out water. I go to feel it, and it's lukewarm. I start to assume temperature started left and right to gauge the feel. It changes temperature pretty fast. It's kind of cool. Although unless the tablet's waterproof, I'm not sure how you adjust it mid-sour. I decide not to test it just in case and slide it to almost to the end of the wet side. Steam starts filling the room as the faucet spews out hot water. There's another option that can be turned off or on. At tapping, the faucet stops before the sour head starts. Damn, look at that. Maybe I can be somewhat independent. I smile my small accomplishment and set the tablet back on the sink. Once I get my pants off, I make with my final nemesis, my underwear, even the dressing room, and then take them off. Like my face and chest, I'm not particularly nervous as to what I look like down there. I'm more curious than anything. With a house swag along with the increasing anticipation of the hot sour, I go for it and slide them off. Everything looks fairly normal to me. It's going to right here. One last curiosity remains. I know I'm not hard, but I take my thumb and measure it down to the tip. I'm bigger than I remember. I chuckle to myself before I finally enter the sour I've longed for. I thought crossing my mind that due to my lack of pain, some other senses might be dulled. Thankfully, it's not the case with hot water. This feels absolutely wonderful. It could probably make it hotter, but even if I can't feel the pain, it wouldn't be good for my skin. Even so, I can practically feel the years melt away. I snort, sounding like the old man Cooper thinks I am. To be fair, Damien used to make fun of my lack of stamina even back then. I'll need to make him proud by getting my strength back up. I sigh before shaking my head. As much as I miss him, I need to stay positive. I figure out a way back to him. One sour at a time. It takes about to dry all my hair after I exit the shower. The shampoo was also hard to rinse completely out, which makes sense. I should have used common sense to realize it was meant for canines. But it was worth the effort. My hair feels silky and soft. Wear the towel around my waist and stand in front of the mirror. Not sure why I thought I looked less weird with a head full of damn hair. I debate on using Cooper's fur brush, but decide against it. I'd rather not smell like him any more than I have to. After scooping up my clothes, I make my way back to the living room. Guess once I'm dry, I have to put these on again. Ugh, that's kind of gross. I don't know how cartoon characters can wear the same clothes every day without incident. I see them on the armrest of the couch. The least I can do is let them air out a bit. I plop my skinny butt back on the couch and take a breather. Man, that shower took a lot out of me in a good way. It was relaxing. It was a relaxed experience I desperately needed. I wish I had a hair tie or something, though. My hair is almost dry, but still a bit heavy from the water. Not to mention my hair's making a bit of a mess, which I should have thought of. I get up from the couch and the back is a bit damp now. Oops. It'll probably dry by the time Cooper gets back. Wonder how he's doing. Hope he's okay. I'm grumbling to myself. I guess I'm not so good at being independent yet after all. It takes about 20 minutes for me to dry off completely. Rubbing all my hair with a towel was kind of exhausting, and now I look extra fluffy. The temptation of using that dog's brush grows. I let it go. My hair will settle at some point, hopefully. Not wanting to get into my sweaty clothes quite yet, up to just wear my underwear for a while. Cooper's not going to get back for a long time anyway. Once I give myself a good stretching session, I'll circle back to remaining crates. The junk crate has been picked clean with barely anything worthwhile in it. I'm both curious and skeptical about the rest. The thought crossed my mind that I could do Cooper's dishes for him now that the water is back on. The annoying thing is that I actually like doing dishes, but I'm not giving Cooper any reason to talk down to me anymore. So instead, I set out to sort through his trash. Wow, this really is a lose-lose situation. At the very least, there's a chance I could find something useful. Just a chance, though. I sigh loudly before picking a crate to sift through. To my surprise, it feels pretty light. I can move it around with ease and probably pour the contents out this time. Once more, I open the lid. It's full of clothes. Clothes I don't think Cooper would wear. My curiosity fades, being replaced with worry. Dumping the contents out on the carpet, I met with a mismatch of everything. There are even a few pairs of shoes. Okay, we're really going to have to talk about his hoarding habits. Sure, most of the trash is organized for what I've seen, but why keep the trash to begin with? I sift through the articles of clothing. It's kind of creepy. There are several pairs of pants along with a few pairs of shorts. He even has underwear in here. What the fuck? Wait a sec. Cooper said I could have whatever I find these things. I'm sure that was some failed attempt at getting rid of some of his junk. But if there are actual clothes in here I could wear, then this just might be a treasure trove. Motivation's a hell of a drug, I think to myself as I start to organize all the potential new outfits. I have everything neatly arranged on the floor in about 15 minutes. Sadly, most of the clothes look too big for me. I hate being such a twig. It doesn't help that some of these are clearly for certain species of beastmen. Still, I wasn't able to salvage a t-shirt and a pair of shorts that don't look awful. I smell them, and thankfully they don't seem like they've been worn much. Just a bit musty, which I can deal with. I wouldn't go out in public in something like this, but at the very least, they make good pajamas. That outfit Cooper bought me is nice enough, but I'd rather not sleep in it. Too sweaty for my taste. There doesn't seem to be a washer and dryer around here, so I should limit how much I wear my clothes. Once I get my makeshift casual outfit on, I decided to look through the shoes I found. There are 2 pairs of boots, some dress shoes, and sneakers. I don't exactly have very big feet. Considering how big most of the clothes were on me, I'm not getting my hopes up. Surprisingly, all but one of the pairs of shoes fit me well enough. Maybe a little tight on the dress shoes and big on the boots, but definitely wearable. The sneakers fit almost perfectly, although they're a bit dirty. Still, as much as I like the snazziness the dress shoes bring to the table, they wouldn't be a good idea for the long journey ahead. I'm not in position to value style over functionality. The boots make some sense though, they provide some decent protection. From a comfort perspective though, I think I'll go with the sneakers. Maybe Cooper has an extra bag somewhere I could bring my own stuff in. Said stuff being secondhand clothing and maybe a toothbrush. Still, it is nice to call some things my own, even if they were kind of given to me and by a strange man or less. Regardless, it's a start. I fold all of the extra clothes back up and lay them in a crate, instantly creating twice as much space in the thing. I know he's a hoarder, but this is ridiculous. Where does he even find this stuff? Maybe I should ask to go along on one of his dumpster diving adventures. Then I can at least find things that are 100% mine, although that would imply I even see them past next week. Oh, right. I'm here for only one reason, to get the resume. I chuckled to myself. Man, I'm desperate. Once again, I caved to my desires to kill my boredom and decided to clean the dishes. I give up on trying to convince myself this isn't for Cooper. Mainly because it isn't. He's just lucky he has a bored amnesiac who needs to keep his mind busy. I'm not sure how he gets anything done around here, if he does at all. Well, I really am thinking about him a lot. I say putting down one of the freshly cleaned dishes. I guess that's somewhat reasonable. He's the only form of contact I have in this place. It makes sense that I cling to any sort of normalcy. Especially considering how not normal some of the things around here are. Although that does beg a few questions. Why do some things seem familiar? The clothes I found, food we've eaten, and even the appearance of this building and the furniture in it remind me of how things are in my own life. Well, from what I can remember, that is. Place the last dish down, I reach behind my back and gingerly trace around the metal ports embedded in my spine. Maybe I'm not crazy. It's possible this could be a stimulation. Or rather, given the notion that I could have been attached to something, these things, my past life, could have been a simulation. There's nothing I can do to prove that Damien and Diana existed at all. Despite that segment hand, I'm not letting myself spiral for a second time today. They do exist. My love for both of them isn't something I made up. The fact that they're all I remember at this point proves my relationship to them is strong. That's what I tell myself anyways. Take a deep breath to calm myself. In due time, I'm going to see them again. I know it. I take another deep breath, although it breaks into a yawn when I go to exhale. Who would have thought apartment cleaning for a hoarder, along with having multiple existential crises, would make one so sleepy? Looking around, there doesn't seem to be any readily available clock. Cooper probably just used his accent for that. In that case, I can just use the tablet I found. I'll need to ask him for the passcode. He did say I could have most of what I found after all. I might as well get some use out of it. Thankfully the lock screen has a time on it. It's a little past noon. I've only been up for a few hours, yet I feel totally exhausted. You know what? Screw my sleep schedule. I'm tired. I deserve a nap. It feels like it's been forever since I had one. And who am I to deny myself of one of life's simplest pleasures? Once I make my totally not bad decision of sleeping at noon, I went my stomach for a second. I'm not hungry yet, I guess. I can't imagine I'll be out for that long. I was no stranger to eat lunch at 2 p.m. during my undergrad, after all. I remember when I told Diana that I considered 11:59 a.m. to be breakfast still. She blew a gasket. It didn't help that I woke up 20 minutes before that since I was what was I doing? Ugh. I can't even have an inner monologue without getting stumped. Okay, that's enough distractions for one afternoon. I deserve a bit of R&R. Get myself comfy on the couch again. It's not super cold in the room, but I draped the blanket across my legs anyway. I'm still not sure if my body can regulate its own temperature. I need to test the limits of my sense of touch at some point too. But that can come later. Right now I drift off into a well-deserved nap. So the MC got to do some things around the house while Cooper was gone. Get supplies. He was also able to take a bath. The ability for the place to have water came because Cooper was out trying to see about getting the water to be turned on in the apartment. So apparently at that time Cooper was still doing okay out there. So the MC was able to have a shower. He was able to get some clothes that weren't quite as smelly. I mean, yeah, he did wear some clothes that were still musky, probably because of the ones Cooper wore himself. And he also got to look through one of Cooper's items. He saw all his old friends. One of them looks like a rowdy white tiger, and he's roughhousing with one of his other friends. So the fact that he has a picture of them, that must mean that he really cares about them. And whatever he's doing right now, he's not able to see them. Well, this job he's doing, because the MC is not the only person he's been escorting. He's been escorting a lot of people. So this job seems to prevent him from being able to be around his friends. And about the MC's friends, Diana and his tiger boyfriend, it could be a simulation. He could have been implanted with made up memories or memories from somebody else. But maybe his friends are real. And somehow he's been taken to a different world. Or maybe somehow he managed to make it to a different time somehow. I don't know. But hopefully he can get back to his friends real soon. So that's all for now. We'll continue next time. All the information for the game is in the description box below. Thank you all very much for watching. Bye.